Well, the European Parliament has been very vocal on the need for stopping arms export to Saudi Arabia because of what was happening with the Yemen. We have been pushing in this direction, and also we have been active in finding concrete solutions, pushing for a transition and a unity of the forces in Libya. But we know that we have seen, unfortunately, a lack of effort from the previous administration of the US that was very important for us. Without the support from the US administration, it would be difficult to follow these efforts, even if some European countries would go in this direction. So for us, in this context, the Trump administration has not been a positive ally for these objectives of stabilization and peace. Our concern as MEPs, as members of the European Parliament, has been always trying to work constructively for a sustainable peace in Libya, and we are convinced that we need to bring all the actors at the table, obviously starting with the sustain for the internationally recognized government with the UN support. And this is our way of doing. We think that dialogue is crucial, that weapons must stop, and we are concerned about the actions also of external forces in Libya, also far from the European Union, which is the closest area and obviously needs to be playing its role in finding a solution for peace and stability for the Libyan people. We have been pushing for this solution in terms of finding a solution for freeing Mansour. We think that it was our duty as an organization, as a parliament that has been fighting for human rights in the area. I can mention also the case of Raif Badawi, for example. We have been pushing through all our means in terms of diplomatic pressure, but also considering changing our economic and social relations. I think that to be honest, we are worried by a human rights situation that has been deteriorating not only in the Emirates but also in the whole of the area in many other countries, and so we think that we don't need to only look at one but fight for a world where there is more respect for human rights and for freedom of expression in this case all over the area, because we think that we can be a better world if there is more freedom of speech, of ideas also in that area. We know that we have a very bad situation there in these terms, and we have been just following the evolution of the situation on the ground, and we think again that it's important for us to express our opinions and to push for a change in this sense, so that there is no arbitrary detention, and we know that this is an issue all over the area. Well, the situation is very difficult. We know that sometimes we are not followed, but we know also that in other cases we have been effective, so we will continue pressuring, and we will consider also actions when we have also to take decisions on foreign policy relations and on economic activity, because obviously we need to base our international relations on the respect of human rights. think we have a difficult situation. Again, as I said, we need to fight for human rights all over the area, and it's not a matter only of Emirates but also of all the other countries. Unfortunately, Emirates have been not following our pressure on these cases, but we will continue doing it. I think it's very important that we expressed on that, because Egypt is very close to us. It's near, it's in the near vicinity, and we had two very bad cases for also my country, for Italy, the killing of Giulio Regeni some years ago, and the case of Patrick Zaki, a student that is was detained and is still detained with no trial. He has been a student in Bologna in Italy. I think that Egypt has been treated with a lot of we can say of acceptance of the situation because of its role in fighting against terrorist networks, but I think that this has gone too far, and it's a situation now of extreme deterioration of human rights, of terrible context for journalists and for freedom of expression, and I think that the European Union should take a stronger stance, as the resolution has been clearly saying, because it cannot leave everything as it is today. We need to change our relations. In my opinion, we didn't obtain enough until now. I think we should change our attitude and be more assertive to reach a real concrete solution, because, as I said, we also have cases that dealt with European citizens. Adds obviously a layer of difficulty and of the need for a solution, of a better context of freedom of expression and of human rights in Egypt. It's a different, difficult balance. We have a lot of economic interests, but I think that for the dignity and the reputation of our countries, we need to be able to differentiate and find some sectors, some cooperation efforts that needs to be reviewed and changed to respond to the attitudes of Egyptian government that has not been cooperative dealing with cases like the ones I mentioned.